What's up, everybody? Welcome to Own the Chaos. My name is Brad. That is Fat Man Zoom. Fat Man Zoom, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about SPACs. The Chaos crew has voted again, and it is a clear victory for SPACs. We're actually gonna do a reaction to a Benzinga article, 10 current and former SPACs that they said they expect to outperform in 2021. So I'm going to toss them up to you. We're going to look at the technicals,
okay,
and then we're going to discuss them a little bit, and we're going to decide, are we buying what they're selling, or are we selling what they're selling?
Sounds good to me. Let's have some fun with this. So what's the first one you got?
All right, so the first one we have, we're going to break it down into three categories. The first category are SPACs that are searching for targets. RTP is the ticker symbol. It's Reinvent Technology Partners. So this SPAC is, they're targeting tech, and this is all we really know is we typically know the sector they're targeting and the leadership, and obviously leadership is, when you don't know what the target is, leadership is really what's going to boil down to, and then the technicals. So we have, this is led by LinkedIn founder Reid Hoffman and Zynga founder Mark Pincus, and what's cool is these two have actually been partnering for almost 2 decades on investments, and they led the seed funding for Friendster, which was Facebook. So they were one of the initial investors in that, and they partnered on other deals as well. So to me, that's interesting. What does it look like from the chart perspective?
Yeah, so just looking at the chart here, I mean, it actually has been trending up quite well since the middle of December and looks pretty good. Started out around 1050 in the middle of December, sitting at 1164, and has had some quick run-ups and some pullbacks, but overall, it's trending in the right direction. It actually looks good, and based off of what you're telling me, it seems like this could be a nice, viable SPAC to make your way into.
Yeah, I would say this is a buy for me.
Yeah.
I'm buying it.
Yeah.
The next one is BTAQ, Burgundy Technology Acquisition. So this is probably the one we have the least amount of information on. They say that they're targeting technology and enterprise software.
Yeah.
And I said to you off air, I mean, pretty much everybody's targeting technology in general, so that does nothing for me. The CEO is Leo Apotheker. I'm sorry. The leadership is Leo Apotheker, who is the CEO of HP and SAP, the previous CEO.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't love those companies either. So right off the bat, nothing stands out to me. What about the chart?
I got to be honest with you. The chart looks pretty ugly. Over the last couple of days, it's gotten a really nice move on. You know, it kind of been hanging around that a default $10 SPAC price, but has moved up over the last couple of days. But the volume is terrible. And so if you guys decide that you want to get into this one, be prepared to struggle getting back out of it because it doesn't look like there's too much volume. So unless they come out with something big, I don't know if I'd want to be into this one just yet.
All right. So that's a sell for me. It's a sell for you as well.
Yeah, I'm out.
All right. Next, so number 3, we have Social Capital. So it's IPOF, and we love the IPOs. This one in particular, now we know there's 3 outstanding right now. So IPOC just had their vote. As of this recording, we don't know if it went through, but we imagine it did go through. But now we have IPO D, E, and F.
Yes.
Now they picked F, and what's interesting is we've actually been fans of F. I'm glad they picked F. It kind of reaffirms what I've believed. So Chamath Palihapitiya, I pronounced it totally wrong.
I probably could do way worse.
Chamath, our boy, this is the 6th pack in their series.
Yeah.
He plans on going IPO through the whole alphabet to Z. And so far, he's done a great job, in my opinion. He's done 3.
Yeah.
He's got 3 set up, but why is IPOF different? So the way he sets the IPOs up is he has the same leadership team for D, E, and F, except he adds one other piece of leadership. So IPOF has the ex-CEO of Twitter. So Richard Costello is the extra member there, so I like that.
Okay.
And then this SPAC in particular has raised the most of any other SPAC. So I think they're planning something big for this one. This one raised over $1 billion.
Jesus.
So out of the bunch, I think that this one has the potential to make like a huge partnership announcement. Not to mention the other reason I like it is because of the hype train leading up to CD. So like they should all move as long as everything goes well with the other one. So I think F is going to benefit off of C, Clover Health, and I think it's going to benefit off of D&E as we get news on that. So I think it's a good look.
Yeah, I mean, and if you look at the chart, it's obviously only started trading back in the end of December, but to me, there's not much to say. There hasn't been a whole lot going on. It is already up to $12 a share, but I'm wondering if you can't get on this in the low and in the $11 range. So if I'm looking to get an IPOF, you make a really compelling argument. I definitely would look to buy this, but I think that maybe you could probably try to get this down at $11 a share.
Yeah, I think it's possible. Because of the time horizon.
Yeah.
And if it's not $11, I think if there's a move, you're going to see a substantial pullback.
Yeah.
I anticipate with IPOC there being a run-up at some point in the coming weeks. I expect IPOC to have profit taking.
Yeah.
And I think that's when IPOF will also actually move down. So I would wait for that opportunity and kind of look at how the others move to see when the opportunity is for you to move in. But I would agree with that.
Yeah.
This one, be patient. And this is really, I think, a long-term account, swing-term long trade or long-term investing.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to look at it.
Right.
Because it's going to be really frustrating to look at this one from time to time.
Just set it and forget it.
But when it moves, it's going to be a beautiful move.
Yeah.
Number 4. This one's new. AJAX.
AJAX.
Yeah, AJAX.
Like the floor cleaner.
This one is all about leadership.
Yeah.
I don't know what they haven't really said what that's going to be a part of. I think it's going to, or what sector. I think probably it will be tech, maybe, actually, I don't know. Tech, I don't know what part of tech, what sector. But the founders, the leadership, this is like the dream team of leadership. Maybe that's a bit extreme, but they have a solid team. They have the founder of 23andMe, the founder of Chipotle,
Wow.
the founder of Square, and the founder of Instagram. So like the way Benzinga says it is like all-star lineup. Like they really do have lineup. And so what I was thinking was, I don't really care what they have or what they're doing, because I feel like just their connections on top of Goldman Sachs is the one that's going to be executing this.
Yeah.
I believe that they just have enough people that are going to invest in it that this should be huge.
Yeah.
So I think the hype's going to be real on this when people start getting a hold of it. I had never heard of it. I don't know what the technicals say. Actually, I didn't even look at the technicals, but the leadership is studly.
There's not much to write about on the technicals. It only started trading on the 18th of last year and of December. And so there's not much to write home about, but it's at a good level here. We talk about that default price. It's at 11.56 as of this recording. So I think that this could be a nice, reasonable area to get in. But I also think that this is another one you're going to want to be patient with. But man, that lineup, I mean, talk about dream team.
Yeah. I think you get a starter in this.
Yeah.
I think I would get a starter in this, and I plan to get a starter in this. And I think that as it comes towards 10, like if it goes below 10.50, I'm going for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll hear news, and then when we hear the news about potential partnerships or speculation, I think
I'm sure this will have a monster move.
It's actually, for it just launching on December 18th, for it to already be up to that, like that's actually kind of high from what we've learned about SPACs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They typically stay for a couple of months, they stay around 10. Now this also, and this is a separate topic, but this also could be the new normal for SPACs.
Yeah.
But we typically see that 9, maybe dip a little bit below. It remains to be seen, but be patient. But it's a buy for me.
It's a buy for me too, man. I wonder what their target would end up being like with a lineup like that. You know, is it going to be something in big tech? Is it going to be something in hospitality?
Yeah.
What is it? You know, because it's such a diverse group of, founders in that. So it'll be interesting to see who they end up targeting.
All right, so now we have a new segment, this is better, pending deals.
Okay.
So we've identified the other company, and now we're just waiting for it to go through. So the first one we have at number 5 is Northern Genesis, which is NGA. Northern Genesis is an EV play.
Yeah.
And we actually I alluded to it in a live stream. You actually have no idea about this, I don't think.
No.
So here's a story on Northern Genesis. So the company they're merging with is a company called Lion Electric, and they're focused on buses and vans for EV. All right. And they already have deals set up for charging with ChargePoint and Blink, so that looks good. They have a capacity of 2,500 units, which isn't a ton, but for what we know about new EV startups, not a bad number, especially vans and buses. I will tell you, my knee jerk was not to like this company.
Yeah.
But I may have changed my mind. I'll tell you after you tell me the technicals.
Well, I'm looking at the chart here, and it's already gone up a ton. So
Really?
it's sitting at almost $21 a share as of this recording. Really started to get its move on towards the end of November and hasn't really stopped. You've had a couple of dips here and there, but I don't know where I would want to get in on this because it's very choppy. It's not really organized just yet. But the argument you make on, who's coming in on this is kind of compelling. So I don't know exactly how I would play this just yet.
So what I didn't realize was that the Biden administration, their clean energy bill, actually calls for 500,000 zero-emission school buses. So
wow.
That changed my mind.
Yeah.
Now, again, like to me, it's like a workhorse situation, but better.
Right.
Where workhorse had like the contract dangling.
Yeah. Still dangling.
Yeah, still dangling. But I think it's better because we actually have a bill that says this has to happen, and who's doing zero emission school buses.
Right.
I'm sure somebody's doing it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So we may miss the boat on this. We may miss the move on this, but I think you have to be patient. But it is a buy. It's a good call by Benzinga. I love this one.
Yeah, it's worth keeping an eye on for sure, putting it on the watch list.
Number 6, DMYD. DMY Technology. Another one that's kind of an oversaturated space. This is in the gaming space, the sports betting space.
Yeah.
This is DMY Technology partnering with Genius Sports. Genius Sports.
Like Genius Brands?
No,
Okay.
no, something different. But it is basically analytics for the sports betting companies, as I understand it, like to determine odds and stuff like that.
So like the sports book would be able to benefit from this? Or?
Yeah, exactly. So they already have partnerships with, high profile customers. They have DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, Caesars, William Hill. Like they have the big ones.
Yeah.
And they also have deals in place with the NBA, NCAA, FIFA, PGA, and other like international associations. So their partnerships look good. I don't know. I haven't looked into fundamentals at all, and I don't know if we've gotten them yet. But they do have the right partnership set up. I worry because there is so much saturation, but it is an industry that we're really bullish on for 2021.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that I think this might actually end up being a buy for me. And the difference is that it's not just another sports betting app or whatever, but this is something that's kind of like an aside to that, which to your point, them getting into analytics and that sort of thing, I imagine that they're going to be making a lot of money when it comes to their bigger clients and their sports books. Looking at the chart here, it's already been making kind of a move, but it looks as if, as of this recording, there might be a reasonable area to get into it around the mid-15s. It went up as high as almost $18 a share. So I think that this might actually be one to definitely consider getting into, especially if it has any kind of reasonable pullback, which today it's down around 5% as of this recording, I should say. But I think that I would want to be bullish on this.
All right, number 7, LGVW, Longview Acquisition Corp. So LGVW, their pending deal is with Butterfly Networks. So they offer portable ultrasound technologies.
Yeah.
Okay. And let me get this out of the way. Their main investor is Bill Gates.
Okay.
So I think that just moves it. It doesn't.
I got it. So just preemptively, it has.
It doesn't do anything for me, but I should know that when I'm thinking about the stock because he's an investor. He's not.
Right.
How much is he really doing? But it's nice to have the name associated.
Yes.
But I like what they do. They're going after the top 100 hospitals. They've already started making some inroads in that. And basically, they're looking at underserved communities, but also I think the fact that you talk about portable ultrasound technologies, when you think about pregnancies, you don't want to be going into a hospital.
Right.
So with the COVID, even after vaccine, I think hospitals are still going to be really tight and strict. And so if you don't have to go, why would you go as a pregnant person, right? So it's a buy for me. What's going on there on the chart?
So it's already made a pretty serious move all the way up to 2296 highs, has pulled back to 1874. So that's not bad. I think that this could be a reasonable area to consider picking it up, maybe around 1775. It seems to be what the latest support is on this, but the chart's really choppy. Obviously, it's only just started trading towards the end of December. The fact that this is in healthcare and a lot of the points that you've made, this is a buy for me as well. I think that anything in the mid-teens seems like a reasonable price to potentially get this at.
Yep. All right. So number 8, SRAC, Stable Road Acquisition.
Okay.
So they're merging with a company named Momentous. This one's interesting, and I really want to know your response to this. We may disagree on this one. So let's just call it the FedEx of space.
Okay.
All right. So they have a partnership with SpaceX.
All right.
That's good.
Yeah.
And they're billed as a zero gravity logistics company. So with what they're doing, particularly with SpaceX, is they're going to be essentially launching the satellites for SpaceX. So
Okay.
satellites as a service.
All right.
All right. So we'll see how that works out. But I think it has to do with more of like parts or whatever, like to get to SpaceX. But you have to, I don't know any of the other partnerships, but that one obviously is the name that stands out. They're forecasting $1 billion in revenue in 2024.
Jesus. Okay. Well, I mean, so my initial reaction would be like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
But when I look at stocks like Virgin Galactic, for example, where people have just gone absolutely apeshit over, and you look at something like this and their relationship with SpaceX, I think that regardless of how we might feel about this business model and where it could be going, I think there's going to be enough investors interested in something like this that it's going to make some serious moves.
I would agree. It is a sell for me, but I do believe it's going to move. And the reason I think that is, I don't want to bet on space. Like, the costs are too high. There's too many things that could go wrong.
What do the margins look like for something like that? You
horrible.
Know? Right.
It loses money.
Yeah.
But also, one bad flight, the company's done.
Over. Right.
Yeah, it's over. And so, to me, that's a hype play. And if we do ever see like a recession in the market or a downturn, this is the first company that goes.
Yeah, Virgin Galactic was the same way.
Yeah, when you have stupid money, you start playing these things.
Yep.
And so I think that anybody who gets in it speculatively, I understand why, and you could do that, but I can't. So it's a sell.
Yeah, and you look at the chart, it's already kind of made some pretty good moves. Went all the way up to 1985, now sitting at 1639. If you're looking at the chart, it actually has a pretty decent support on the daily. It's not anything crazy because consider the fact that it's a SPAC. 1450, 1460 seems to be a reasonable area to pick this up at if you guys are looking to play the hype.
Number 9, Desktop Metal DM. So this is a 3D printing company. So they completed their reverse merger on December 10th. And the stock dropped like 35% in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
The technical analysis, though, is interesting. So I just want to talk about this stock. Are you buying or selling it from a technical perspective? Because I don't love the model. I'm not a fan of 3D. It looks like there's a clear support, but I think that the chart is trying to decide if this is going up or if the downtrend is forming.
There is a clear support here in the mid $16 range. And, you know, if it holds today and tomorrow, then I would say that this is probably a good area to buy it at. But tell me a little bit more about the company.
Basically, they do 3D printing.
That's it.
That's all.
I mean, I didn't know if they had like clients or whatever else. So then,
I'm sorry, I didn't do enough due diligence on that. Let's get that shit out.
But so then, no, I would. This would probably be a sell for me.
All right. And last, but certainly not least, we must end on an EV, FSR, which is Fisker.
Yes,
we all know and love.
Yeah.
So if you don't know Fisker by now, luxury SUVs, they've got the Ocean, that's their SUV. I like that they're moving in the SUV space.
Yeah.
They have 10,000 vehicles pre-ordered for 2022, and people talk about that number. The only thing I'll say about that is you had to put down a 250 refundable deposit, so I don't know how much I buy into how much weight that carries.
Yeah.
And they have a partnership with Magna International, and this is interesting as well that I wanted your feedback on, which Fisker's decided that they're going to allow Magna to handle the production, and they're going to focus on the digital marketing and future vehicles. And they're going to, and what's interesting about their digital marketing is that they're actually going to really look at influencer marketing. So this piqued my interest because I'm wondering what sort of non-traditional marketing avenues they're going to do. And this might actually be a good move for them. But I worry about the partnership. Just, is there enough to go around?
Yeah. So I am buying Fisker. I think that Fisker is going to do well. This is their second go round. For those of you who don't know, I think that Fisker finally figures out how to get this to a market in which it would be interested in. It seems to be that there's quite a bit of interest. You know, that you mentioned the 10,000 pre-orders, and I think that I would just take that with a grain of salt. But at least they required a deposit. When you look at something like Nikola, for example, that claims to have 100,000 people interested in it. Well, it's like, of course, I mean, I could just push the buy button as many times as I want if I don't have to make a commitment to it. So I think there's at least something to be said for that. But I think that Fisker is definitely going to be a buy. I don't know how long they last, but they have good relationships with Volkswagen too. So some pretty good stuff from that. I like this one. For me,
I will say that I'm going to sell it. I will buy it short term. 2021, I'll buy Fisker. After that, it's a sell for me. I think there's too much competition. Luxury SUVs, too challenging for me from a margins perspective. I think it's an uphill battle, and competition is only getting more fierce.
Yeah.
So long term, it's a sell.
That's a very good point. And I think that, we've talked about EVs in general and about how, that a lot of these could end up getting absorbed by bigger markets, and Fisker could land in that category.
Good point. And there you have it. Those are our 10, my friend. 10
SPACs. You guys have been asking about this for a long time. We were trying to figure out exactly how we wanted to do this. And then, this article came about, so we thought it would be something fun to talk about. So if you guys like this kind of thing, make sure to give us a thumbs up and let us know in the comments. You want to see more stuff like this. If you guys want to be part of the Chaos Crew, make sure you're hitting that join button as well next to subscribe. Fat Man Zoom. Anything else?
Yeah, we'll just put the link in the description. So we'll put the article link in the description if you want to check out Benzinga's article. And then if you want to be a part of the decision-making process and vote on the topics that we bring up to the videos, join the Chaos Crew.
That's right. And leave some comments. Which ones, too, do you like the best out of all these 10? What's your favorite ones, and are you in any of these as well? That's going to do it for us. See you next time. And,
we out.
We out.
Bye.